Okay, so Samsung is up to something big, like really big. They're rushing a brand new chip into production, and if this thing actually works the way they're hoping, it could completely flip the script on who's winning the smartphone chip war. Let me break it down. So first, what even is a chip and why does it matter? Think of the chip inside your phone like the brain. It controls everything: how fast apps open, how smooth your videos play, how hot your phone gets when you're gaming. A better chip means a better phone. Simple as that. Now, for the past few years, Samsung has been using Qualcomm's Snapdragon chips in their Galaxy phones. And honestly, Qualcomm has been dominating. Like 75% of the Galaxy S26 lineup runs on Qualcomm. That's massive. Samsung is basically paying a competitor to power their own flagship phones, and that has to sting. So here's what Samsung is doing about it. They're building their own chip, the Exynos 2700, on a brand new 2nm process. Now, don't let that word scare you. 2 nanometers basically means the transistors inside the chip are incredibly tiny, and the tinier they are, the more powerful and efficient the chip becomes. Less heat, more speed, longer battery life. This is cutting-edge stuff, like only a handful of companies in the entire world can even attempt this. And here's where it gets interesting. Samsung is rushing this. According to reports from Yonhap news agency, the chip design was already fully locked in by late 2025, and right now, Samsung is testing production-ready samples, with full production expected somewhere between May and June this year. That is fast, like unusually fast for a chip of this scale. Why the rush? Because the Galaxy S27 is coming, and Samsung wants this chip in that phone. The goal? Cut their dependence on Qualcomm from 75% down to 50%, half the Galaxy S27 lineup powered by their own brain. Now, here's the money side of this, and this number actually blew my mind. If Samsung pulls this off, they're looking at saving over $7.8 billion. That's 11 trillion Korean won. Billion with a B. That's how much they're currently spending, effectively sending money to Qualcomm instead of keeping it in-house. Building your own chip is expensive up front, sure, but long-term, you control the cost, the design, everything. Apple figured this out years ago with their A-series chips. Now Samsung wants that same kind of control. But okay, let's slow down for a second, because it's not all hype and good news. There's actually a Geekbench leak floating around, a benchmark score that supposedly shows an early Exynos 2700 being tested, and the results? Honestly, not great. The OpenCL scores, which basically measure graphics performance, were pretty underwhelming. Now, to be fair, this is a super early prototype, like a rough draft. It's running on an ERD board, which is basically a test environment, not a finished phone, so these numbers don't tell the whole story. But still, it raises a question that a lot of people are asking right now. Can Samsung actually deliver? Because here's the thing, Samsung has struggled with this before. Their older Exynos chips had a reputation for running hot and burning through battery faster than Qualcomm's chips. People noticed, people complained, and Samsung quietly started shipping more Snapdragon units to avoid the backlash. So there's history here, real history, and that's why the pressure on this chip is enormous. Samsung isn't just trying to save money, they're trying to prove something to the industry, to consumers, and honestly, to themselves. So where does this leave us? Right now, Qualcomm is probably watching all of this very closely, but they're not panicking, not yet. Because until Samsung shows us real performance numbers on a real device, it's still just promises and projections. The benchmark leak is shaky, the production timeline is aggressive, and the stakes could not be higher. If the Exynos 2700 actually delivers, fast, cool, efficient, Samsung changes the game completely. They save billions, they own their own tech, and suddenly Qualcomm has real competition. But if it stumbles, if the heat issues come back, or the performance just isn't there, then Samsung is right back where they started, writing big checks to Qualcomm and hoping nobody notices. May or June is when we should start seeing production samples. That's when the real story begins. So stay close, because when those results drop, we're going to know very quickly whether Samsung just built a weapon or a very expensive disappointment. Hit subscribe so you don't miss that video, because that one is going to be fun to make.